Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My dad's in town, so you know what time it is. Time to put him to work. He's been helping out with the Warlock build, but the Ute overheated on my way to pick him up from the airport. So technically, it's his fault. Let me catch you all up and we can dive into what we found. Like, share, and subscribe for more. Well, everything was going well until it wasn't. Looks like the Ute overheated. And it happened really quickly, which is kind of a good thing because it seems like it may not be that serious. I shut everything down. I got myself to this parking lot, and the fill level is just a little bit low, but it's reading like 260. And like a big cloud of smoke came up as I was popping into this parking lot. Taking a look down here. Looks like we got a trail of coolant. Looks like it's coming from the back of the car. So I'm thinking it's heater hose related. We will see. But everything still starts and runs fine. So I'm not even gonna try to baby it. I'm just going to get a tow truck here and get it back home, and then we can figure out what's going on from there. So we've got the tow truck driver here. We've got the charger. We're gonna load it up and then head back home. We can figure out what's going on. I don't get to see this moving too much, you know what I'm saying? I'm always driving it behind the wheel, so this is nice to see. So it's a few days later and I'm prepping the truck for SEMA, but we had some issues with the Ute, as you saw earlier. You know, it did break down on me. I don't think it's anything supercharger related. I do think it may be heater hoses or something like that, but let's stop the speculation. Let's get it down here and we can look underneath the hood. Today we're going to figure out once and for all where it's leaking from. We've got the cowl removed, access to all of the heater hoses back there, and we're going to pressurize the system after we fill up the reservoir here and find out where our failure is. We've got our cap off, and we're going to put a little bit of fluid in there, and then we're going to pressurize the system. That's going to make it really easy to see where it's leaking from and not risk any more engine damage. So let's grab some water. We'll fill that up a little bit and then take this out. The last time I used this kit, we blew up the cap system on the Buick on my first Grand National. We were trying to figure out where along the engine that crack was, and we found it right underneath the freeze plugs. The entire block was cracked. So we're not going to recreate that issue here, but we just want to find the root of that problem. So our leak test tool doesn't work, but I'm going to inflate the system with this and show you all where it's at. Just to show you all what we're trying to get off is it's really down here. So we've got that line, we cut that off. It goes into a T, and the leading edge here goes out toward the reservoir. And then the other side right here goes down behind that supercharger cooling temp sensor and goes down here where there's a clip behind this bulk of harnesses. So it's not really all that great to show you all, but that's what needs to be replaced. So just going to continue to work on this a little bit and then should be able to get it off soon. So we got this side off. We broke off the rest of this, and clearly if you see down in there, that was cracked too. So prime time to replace it. And this is pretty common on these cars. So if you're leaking coolant and it's coming from the back, it's probably where it's all at. I didn't get much warning before this happened. and the temps just climbed. It raised really quickly. So that's how I knew it wasn't anything really serious. And once I turned on the heat in the car, it worked for a second and then it went cold. So that told me it was a loss of fluid, and it's most likely dealing with the reservoir system, because that's usually the first to go on these. So we'll see what we can get as a replacement. I'll take some measurements, make sure we can get the coupler and right size hose if we can't find this 3-piece assembly, and then we'll go from there. But we're gonna get back on the road. We wanted to fix this today, but the typical PEX fitting mentioned in other YouTube videos weren't available in stores. So we found this PEX-A fitting in stock at Home Depot. Once I squeezed out the plastic fittings, connected the fitting like this, perfect fit. Now I have to bleed out the coolant system. That 8mm hex works well, but mine was becoming a bit stripped out. So instead, I removed the coolant temp sensor. That way the air can escape through there while I fill in the 2 gallons the system needed with this gravity filling funnel. I retorqued the coolant temp sensor, put everything back together.
All good?
All good.
Tested?
Ah, you know what? I didn't test it. I did not test it. I actually put my stuff away. So I was confident in our work, you know. Looks like everything is holding. The Ute is finally ready to get back on the road. We're gonna go put some miles on it, make sure everything is good to go, but really happy with everything now. And just like that, the Ute is fixed and back on the road. But why stop there? Dad watches all my videos, but never drove any of my projects, so let's give him another one to rip. So what do you think? Back in the 80s, huh?
Yeah. I said I was doing the Buick in 100 years.
It's a complete barn find with dust and all, you know?
Yeah.
So we're just clearing out the storage lot, and we had the Grand National in there, so we wanted to take that out and enjoy it tonight. I'm driving the Avalanche. We still got the engine in there that belonged in the Warlock. So I'm just gonna take a bunch of that stuff over to scrap this week. We're gonna clear out the rest of the storage unit. There are a couple bikes in there, and thankfully get this back on the road. We just filled it up with some premium and just gonna enjoy. We already took the top down, so just left to cruise. All right, so it's the next morning and the T-Top Grand National is finally home. I missed this thing. Being able to drop the top and enjoy some of this fall weather is just gonna be perfect. We'll be able to hear the boost and all of that good stuff. So just in case you're not familiar, 84 T-Top Grand National, Lear Siegler seats. This is the second Grand National that I brought to the channel. This one's completely bone stock besides some of the other upgrades that I've done. The flush mounted rear, side, and front glass have all been completed. I still have to black out the grille to make it look like an 84. It's got a T-type or a Buick grille, so I just gotta black that stuff out. But besides that, everything works really well. But while I'm giving build updates, let's switch over to the Warlock and the 442. The Warlock started out as a $500 junkyard truck, and right now it is split apart in a billion pieces. But the goal is to have it ready for SEMA, and I am well on my way. We're going to kick off that build series right now. So the next video you'll see of is the Warlock. On the Cutlass side of things, the Cutlass has been painted, the engine and transmission is in, the car is running, but I do need to go back in time so I can catch you all up on what the fuel system, the headers, and all of the ancillary bits look like, so you can start your own LS swap for free project. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Talk to you on the next one.